This is the Two Random Dudes podcast.
Huge.
I'm a fake gay.
Do you have sex with your shirt on too?
What's up, guys?
Yo.
Episode 23. Two Random Dudes. Today has been, or this week has been pretty crazy. I'm recording out of Boston. I'm on a work trip. And we are doing this at like 4:30 a.m.
5. It's almost 5 a.m. Because it took us 30 minutes to figure out audio, recording. It's all my fault. You know, I have a Mac and I don't know how to run my software. So
Yeah,
tell us about your craziness.
all the things that could go wrong are going wrong. My craziness, so I'm just traveling for work, but I'm still trying to do like 50 billion things at once. And there's not enough time in the day. So I'm using my sleep time. I guess Jin's normally up at this time, but I'm not up for like another hour or so.
Yeah, sounds about right. I'm up randomly. To match the scheme of two random dudes, I guess I wake up random times. Ha ha. Ha ha.
Ha ha. Well, do you for any reason you wake up, or do you can't sleep, or you have stuff to do?
My passion wakes me up.
The sunset's not even out yet.
Yeah, I told you my passion wakes me up. What does that have anything to do with sunset? It'd be
Because your
sunrise.
passion is photography, and you'll go passionate the sunset and go film it.
It would be sunrise.
Sunrise.
I'm not waking up to take sunrise photos or anything every day. I'm just saying the passion that I have for life is what wakes me up. Oh, snap.
Okay. So I got this like really ridiculous view. I guess it's ridiculous for Boston. It's not like as city as New York City, but in my I booked through the corporate website, and I put in the notes section, they're like, anything we can do for your room? Do you need like handicap access, probably like special food needs or something, for your room? And I put, I want a good view. So I checked in and they gave me that,
You
which
didn't have,
is pretty cool.
you didn't have to do the $20 tip trick. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, the $20 tip trick for people that don't know. And I would suggest this, especially if you're looking for some travel tips. You get to the front desk, you've already booked reserved your
Wait,
hotel on a
time out.
card or whatever you're doing.
Wait. Hold on. Before you even explain that, why don't you tell them what your Twitter is so that if they don't know it, they can tweet you about it.
My Twitter is They Call Me Geo.
It's not even
I
funny
wish
anymore.
Twitter. Yeah, well, you still need to know it if they need to ask me things. The amount they should be paying us for the amount we're advertising them.
Yeah, they should.
So where was I?
Talking about the tip trick.
Oh,
Walk into the hotel.
so it's reserved already. You go to the front desk, and they always ask you, for a credit card and license. So you have a $20 bill wrapped up, I guess folded in fours, so it fits neatly behind the credit card, and you hand it to them
In between, if I remember
in
correctly.
between, sure. And then they're like, "Oh, what's this?" And you're like, "Hey, are there any room upgrades?" And honestly, like there hasn't been a time where I haven't either gotten an upgrade and they've taken it, or I've gotten an upgrade and they've given the money back. Like, no, sorry, it doesn't. You don't have to tip us. Thank you, anyways. I mean, worst case scenario, they won't upgrade you, and they gave me the money back.
Yeah,
So like, you can't really lose.
yeah. It happened to me in
And then
Disney. Yeah.
to add on top, right? Because I was always taught in sales, right, to get shut down a couple times. I keep trying, not to where you're like annoying with it, but to just try to be a little bit persistent, right? Then you can throw in the, it's our anniversary. That's Jim's favorite. Oh, it's my not my birthday, because they have your driver's license right there. You can say a special occasion, and then it adds to it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that helps too.
Now, I didn't try it because I don't know. I was here on work and I just didn't think to do it because it's not really on my credit card, or it is, and I'm expensing it. But they're like, yeah, we're just giving it to you. So I was like, okay. What am I going to say from that? Can I have an even better room because I'm super greedy?
Yeah, you could be like, I can have the one with the rooftop access and everything. So where in
I'm
Boston?
literally like South Boston. They call it Southie. I'm literally like the Boston airport is really close. I'm watching planes land right now, and there's hotels, and there's downtown. Got a decent view.
Trying to think
So,
when I went there, where South Boston is. Are you closer to like the financial district?
um, I don't know what that is. I think it's apparently people are saying we're in South Boston, and it's not really Boston. It is, but it's not the Boston that everybody knows. So probably not. I want to say
Yeah,
if you were on a map and you had your finger, or if you're on Google Maps, you have your finger on Boston, like just swipe, like move your finger down. That's where I am.
is that why they call it South Boston?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Southie, which is the term here. So there's a comedy club in my hotel, and I was like, well, let's go watch a show, have a little bit of time. And there was no shows, but they're like, there's a free thing you can come in and just listen to if you want. So I was like, what is it? It's a podcast. I'm like interested in my mind. I'm like, I have a podcast. Let me go in and get some tips and tricks from them. It was like two women from South Boston. They, I don't know, they were middle aged, and like one of them had a 21-year-old daughter. So whatever you call that. It's funny now because when you're younger, you would call people old, but like we're that age now. So are we old, or do we mean older than us?
depends on who you're comparing it to, but yeah, well, the reality of it is yes, we're old.
Yeah, that. Or when I say old, depends who's listening and what they think their perception is. So do they mean older than us or older than them? So anyways, so their little shtick is that I don't know. So I asked her. I said at the end, they had a live mic. You could have asked during the session, and I thought that was pretty cool. They've only been in it like 30 episodes, and we're very close to 30. So I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. And for them to be on a stage at a comedy club, like they either been doing this for a while or something. I don't know, but I guess because the comedy club is in South Boston and they're in South Boston, and it's a podcast about South Boston,
you didn't
then it
you
all
didn't
syncs
check
up for them.
you didn't check who they were either during the podcast or right after it?
No, before I went, I listened to like 20 minutes of their podcast because it was literally starting when I went up to check. Like they're like, yeah, you can come in. It starts now. Go to the bar and grab a drink. I was like, oh, okay. I'll just go to my room. Anyways, um, yeah, that's their shtick. They're they're from South Boston. They talk about it like if crime happened or a store was closing down that they grew up in, and they just talk and they make jokes, and they're just from their town, and that's it. So I asked them it's advice. What advice do you have for us? We're starting out just like you guys. And they're like, none. Just have fun. I'm like, do you like plan out your shows? And they're like, nope. I'm like, oh, okay. They had a guest on. He was a comedian too, from South Boston. I guess they're friends.
Do they have
People like the guest thing when we do it.
did they have the Boston accent?
They did. It's not as strong as you think. And I was saying that to people while I was here. I'm like, oh, where are you from? Because you don't have the Boston accent. And they all weren't from Boston, so it was true. But I think in my mind, the Boston accent is so thick you can like hear it, and it's not. Just as people were telling me, you don't sound like you're from Jersey, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Forget about it, eh? Can I have some coffee? I guess that's what they want me to sound like, or think I sound like, or think Jersey people sound like.
Do you think they turn it on and off? Like, can they turn it on and off, but then they purposely keep it on annoyingly for the simple fact that they're in Boston, so they feel like they have to?
No,
Like,
I think it comes out when they drink. Like it started coming out in some of those girls, you could hear it. But I think it just comes out when you're drinking and you're not that they're holding it back, but it's just not as strong as you think.
well, I
Like they would say strong R's, like when there's park, park,
wait, no.
uh,
No, that's not the way that the Boston accent is. It's it's not parked, it's packed. The A is the one that's
park.
emphasized, isn't it? So it's not like
That would be park.
it wouldn't
I
be.
don't know. I guess you could say it's the A. It's the AR.
Well, it's
Park the
definitely.
car in Harvard Yard.
Is it the R that's more emphasized, or is it the A that's more emphasized and stressed? Because I remember distinctively when I heard the Boston accent for the first time, which was actually in Boston. It was actually at Ben's. Do you remember Ben's bachelor party?
Oh my God, that was the last time you were here?
No, that was the first time I heard the accent, like in Boston.
Oh,
So the last
yes,
time I
I
was there was
remember Ben.
anyway. I remember the doorman. I just asked like where I could find parking. And he was like, "You should be able to find parking right over there by the bar." I'm like, "What the frig? This guy sounds weird." And like then you talk to him, and he's like, "Yeah, that's just the way I talk, or whatever, whatever it was." But yeah, I think it was the A that was like a long emphasis on the A and making not. I guess the best way to describe it would be it's long, exaggerated, and borderline annoying. That's the way that they try to make it. But everybody's got their own accents, so maybe they think that Jersey is like annoying with the way we talk and we drink our coffee and our water.
Yeah, I didn't realize that I was like stereotyping the Boston accent so hard until people were like asking me. And I was like, wait, that's like the third time somebody asked me about my New Jersey accent. And then I'm like, oh, that's right. I'm doing the same thing to them with the whole Boston accent thing.
Boston.
And for some reason, I feel like when I travel, I like land in like a different country or a different like planet, you know, and I always like I'm having conversations with people and like, yeah, I'm at the CVS and I'm buying a soda. And I'm like, wait, do you have CVS's here? Like, do you do you understand the language that I'm speaking out of my mouth right now?
Are
We don't
you?
have the same
Hey,
places.
yeah, I was actually gonna talk to you about this one place that I went to eat in Boston. It's on Dartmouth Street. You ever? Well, there's a couple of them. Let me see how far it is from you in South Boston. It's not
Or just put in my hotel right now, and you can see it.
what hotel?
I'm at the Westin, the waterfront Westin.
Weston Waterfront.
And while you look that up, yeah, I will continue to talk. Just been a busy week. I'm in workshops for work, and it's like when you're getting out of work and you're so busy all day, you're still like meeting up with the team. You're doing lunches with the team, dinners with the team, grab some drinks. That's where the real bonding is. I mean, yeah, you could go home, but you're there, you never get to see them, and you get to talk real stuff that maybe has to do with work, but it's outside of work because at work you're just talking about business stuff. So it's just like super busy for me from like 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then, I get back to the hotel and then I'm working on my side project stuff, which is top secret. Nobody can ever know about. And then, the only time I can control really is my sleep. So I'm waking up to record the podcast, or podcast, or however Boston would say it.
I
Did
don't think.
you
Do they say it
did you bring
differently?
up the pod? Yeah, but I can't do it. You can hear it from them. Weird. Did you find my hotel and how far I am from where you are?
Yeah. So it's a 15-minute walk. There's actually like three or four of them in Boston, but you actually have to walk
15 or 50?
15 minutes, 15, 1 5. And if you walk over,
Okay.
you know where Fan Pier Park is?
No.
Boston Children's Museum.
Like I don't know where anything is. I know my hotel, a couple of restaurants in the area because we've been going out to eat, and then my office.
You've been there for a week and you don't know where everything is yet. At least like these.
No,
All right. Do you know where Harpoon Brewery is?
that sounds familiar, but no, we didn't go there.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's a 15-minute walk. If you walk towards the water, towards like I guess it would be towards the piers and stuff like that. But yeah, this place is called B. Good, and it is amazing. Like the food there, it's unique, it's tasty, it's healthy. So that's why I was gonna say if you went there, because when I went, I went on a big company, well, photography gig, and they were paying for it. So even then, I was like, wow, this is so incredibly good. I probably would pay my own money for it either way. So it's worth it, but it is on the pricier side. If you get like, for example, if you get a salad, I think nothing that it's like anything extra expensive, but it's like 13, 14 bucks if you get a salad. But then if you get like one of their fancy drinks, it's like 5 or 6 bucks for those drinks because it's like cold pressed, organic, and they put all kinds of like exotic vegetables in it. Like it was like kale, cucumber, apple juice with ginger, turmeric, and all these other like hipster, organic, healthy things. And it is so incredibly good though, especially in Boston because I came back to Jersey and I tried it, and it wasn't as good. So yeah, B. Good. Um, Check it out if you can, if you have time. They make incredible breakfasts too.
Yeah, I can expense it. I got B. Good.
Yeah.
They're our sponsors this week. I go there. I order a drink and I'm like, yeah, this is free, right?
You know,
What do you mean, sir?
the funny thing is,
You're on.
what?
No, he's gonna just take it for free and walk out. What do you mean, sir? And then just be like, you were our sponsor on the podcast.
And then they would
He has no clue what I'm talking about.
they'd be like, "All right, you're going to jail."
So we have a system here at the nameless company I work at
Wait, what?
that has
We're not naming your company? You don't name it?
two buildings. I don't. You do all the time.
Really?
Anyway, I'm sure they can find it if they really, they were our stalkerish fans. How much they love us.
One
There's
person I'm
two
thinking of right
buildings set up. One person you can think of. That's it. We only have one fan, one listener every week.
now. No, that one person
Um,
that's like stalk-ish that knows us and that like knows what we. Anyway, go ahead.
well, anyways, the two buildings are they're across the street from each other. Apparently, because we're so close to the airport, nothing in Boston can be like over 800 feet. So there's really like not too many tall buildings, but we have two buildings across the street from each other, and one has like salespeople, and one has like marketing people. So you have to cross the street, and there's different benefits. Like one has a better table tennis table, one has a better cafeteria, and the other one has a live-in barista, like a real like coffee shop in it. One has like a basketball court. So, anyways, you got to go between them sometimes for meetings. And crazy story I heard was somebody was hurt from the office, because you got to cross the street. They have these like yellow flashing lights that you can press a button and cars stop for pedestrians. But I think the issue was like one car was stopped and he crossed the street, and then the other car that came behind him like didn't see him crossing and didn't know it was a crosswalk and hit him. I don't know what happened to the person, if they're okay, but I'm just like, that's crazy because it's not like he was walking to work. He was at work and he had to like change building. Like that doesn't happen for anybody else. I mean, because I don't know how often you're crossing the street for meetings. Maybe if you were a door-to-door salesman, I guess.
I mean,
I don't know. That was just
it could happen in
strange or new to me.
it could happen in major cities. I mean, if you're looking at people that let's say like work in sales and outside sales in let's say Manhattan, there's a chance of getting hurt in Manhattan. People are always walking around, and you know, the traffic is horrendous. So yeah, but yeah,
So I fly home today. It's been a fun week, but miss the family. Can't wait to get home. It's the weekend. Any plans for the weekend?
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm volunteering at my church, and I'm gonna be their photographer for 5 or 6 hours during this like my church. I don't even know if it's too much, but they do this event every year. It's their biggest event. They talk about it all throughout the year, and obviously, rightfully so, right during Christmas. So, I'm sure other churches do something similar, but I think my church is something that, and you should bring Gigi if you have time, because I think, your family. I'm sorry. Was I supposed to say her name? Was I supposed to keep that on the DL?
No, we just can't show her face because that's the Casey Neistat thing to do. I don't know. I don't care about that.
Wait, Casey's not showing his daughter anymore?
Yeah, they stopped like about a year ago, maybe a little less. Yeah, they stopped showing her face.
Oh God. Anyway,
I mean, I guess we'll never know because we're not celebrities, but yeah.
so you should bring her for this experience. You'll be probably like a little bit wowed by it too because they and it's pretty cool because they rent out this like trolley to pick you up because you can't park there because the church parking is almost always full. So there are different designated areas to pick you up, and then when they pick you up, the people are very friendly to you. And then when you get in, you have to sign in, okay? And then once you sign in, they give you like cookies, hot chocolate. It makes it very accommodating. And then, of course, you can also sign up to have your photographs taken. There's two photographers. Actually, there's like five, but I'm one of the photographers that's going to be taking pictures of people just like in front of a fake fireplace and Christmas tree. So, anyway, the show itself, you go through this life of Jesus, basically. Well, what the heck was that? You go through the life of Jesus, okay? So if you can think about it this way, like from the Virgin Mary to everything in between and then to the crucifixion, it is very like how do I say dramatic, especially during the crucifixion scene. It's like powerful, loud. It's yeah, it's an experience to say the least. So if you do have time, Sunday, come check it out. I'm gonna be there from like 3 to 8. Actually, I think I have to get there earlier to set up. But yeah, it's going to be I guess fun for the family, as they like to say it, or more of an understanding of Jesus and his sacrifice, his ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, growing up, we had something like that at my church. So we had the live, they would call it the live stations of the cross. So they would go through each station, before the crucifixion and the part with Mary and the towel and they wiped his face and then all that stuff. So we had that growing up and we used to do that.
Wait,
But
what
my
was it acted out by like different people in each scene? How was it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's only one Mary and one Jesus, but yeah, they're they're not different people each scene, but they go through the scenes and there's a lot of actors. It's a live play at church about Jesus stuff.
Yeah, so then
But
it's similar then. Yeah, I want to say there has to be at least like 150 to 300 actors because right from the beginning, there's one station and then within that scene there's probably like 15 people, right? Let's just say they're singing and then they're like, "Oh, look, there's a shining beam."
well, yeah, these churches is different. I mean, it's not as I don't know. You know what a regular Catholic church is. I mean, it's not that much space. A lot
I
of pews.
I don't actually know what a Catholic church is other than maybe being like I've photographed in a couple, but you remember for your what from your wedding, I clearly don't
You
understand.
go for weddings, yeah, and you not even photographing, like just attending before you were a photographer.
Yeah, but
But
the
like I noticed, like a lot of the other churches, like probably like one you go to, it's my sister and some of my other relatives that are different religions than me. They usually like they just rent like a space, and obviously the space is meant for a church, but it's just the open space. Sometimes they'll have you know steps for the stage, and then there's either like instruments or whatever, and then it's just open area, and then most of the time they fill it with like chairs. So it's just like a space. I mean, you can do that anywhere. You can go to a gym, like a school's gym, and you can just worship and celebrate there. It really doesn't really matter where you are. But most of the places that I've been to that were not Catholic, whether it be like Christian or born again or other things like that, they don't really care about the place that it has to be. It's like you can worship anywhere.
yeah, that's how it should be, right? Unless no, the Catholic religion is they're very specific to where, how, and you know,
Yeah, it's very systematic. It's like specific places built, and all of them have stained windows and the cross and all that. Yeah. So I'll tell you about my religion preference. I was born and raised Catholic, and now I don't really practice. I guess I still consider myself Catholic. I don't know what I am. Definitely my views have changed since growing up. We can get into that another time or this time, whatever. But with Gigi, I know my parents want her to grow up, and Catholic and all that. So we got her baptized, and we're gonna do all that. Send her to probably CCD because she'll go to public school. But my parents take her to church every Sunday because I don't go. Nikki and I don't go. And apparently she's like, she loves it. I mean, not necessarily because she knows Jesus and God and all about that kind of stuff, but like, when they come around asking for the collection, right, of you give money, she like loves that. She loves to hand them the money, and she's waving at people, and she's like pointing, oh Jesus, and stuff like that. So I hear it's a fun like little thing for her to do. But yeah, we don't really practice or go. I can ask Nikki because it sounds like it's an event, but Sundays we do family Sunday, and she's already going to church. Is that just this weekend, or is that like every week until Christmas?
It's designated. I think it's like 3 weekends. I think this weekend coming up is the last. So, and the thing is, there's two ways to get to viewing the shows. One of them is you have to book, and then the other is if you walk in. If you book, it means you have a certain time slot that you can go in, and it'll be accommodating for you. However, if you just walk in, you can probably expect to wait anywhere from like I don't know 1 to 2 hours because
Oh my God.
like dude, supposedly okay, the pastor said this. There's over the course of those 3 weekends that they do this show, there's approximately 30,000 people that come to watch it. Like, and that's across the different towns, and they publish, they advertise this event like probably 6 months ahead of time, and it's on everywhere. I don't even know where they get all the well, they get all the money from us, but because they start talking about it like in the middle of summer. They're like, oh, get ready, Christmas Live is coming in 6 months, and it's like now that it's here, yeah. If you go to anywhere in Hamilton, oh, I gave away where I live. If you go to any of the surrounding, like even if you go to like 7-Eleven, Rite Aid, you'll see signs or little, those little coupons for it. And there's really no need for a coupon because it's a free event. And of course, because it's church, they ask for donations. But yeah, it's a big deal over here.
I know, I can tell. I mean, it's not something that like I'm dying to go to. I was asking you what you're doing this weekend, and you're like, I'm volunteering in church, and it sounds interesting, but that's not something in my, like if I were telling you like, oh, I'm going partying, which I am this weekend, you wouldn't really care.
Where are you
Kind
going?
of like that, I guess. So I have an ugly Christmas sweater party.
Why don't you invite me, bro?
I mean,
Oh
it's not my party to invite, but I'm sure the host wouldn't mind if you came.
do I know the host? Does he or she know me?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it Jess?
I, no, we were at her place last week though,
Yeah, I didn't get an
for
invite
a
for that
party.
either, did
Yeah, well, I think she listens to this. You can hit her up, be like, "What the fuck, WTF?"
No, wait, seriously. So when are you going? Is it Saturday night?
Yeah, it's Saturday night,
Oh,
but it's
what town is it?
Plainfield. South Plainfield, I guess.
Oh, is it Nikki's friends?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm actually gonna I'm supposed to hang out with somebody in the Brunswick area. So
Oh, somebody.
no,
What's the mystery?
it's not. It's my boy Dave.
Oh, you were supposed to hang out with him last week.
No, I don't think so. But anyway, him and we're supposed to like go out and chill and stuff. So more likely than not, I'll probably have a sweater on and it'll be really ugly. So I don't want to crash a
You
party
always
that I'm not invited to though, and I'm sure he wouldn't either. So
you always walk around with ugly sweaters.
yeah, around the colder weather. Well, I think that's just implying that all my sweaters are ugly. So
Okay, I'll ask if you can come. See
yeah,
if I can get you the password.
I mean, if I don't, unless if I know them, they probably wouldn't think to invite me anyways, and I don't want to crash a party like that, especially if I'm bringing my boy Dave. So nah, don't worry about it.
Okay, I will not worry about it. But we have our own Christmas sweaters that we made ourselves.
You mean you like
I mean,
knitted them?
no, we bought like really big sweatshirts that were Christmassy, and then we decorated them even more Christmassy with like garland and Christmas balls and candy canes and stockings. But like decorate them really funny. Like you can't get stuff like this in the store because now these ugly Christmas sweaters are a dime a dozen. You know, you can buy them at Target for like $9.99. Got a funny saying on it. It's like now it's not the same anymore. You know, back in my day,
Back in my day.
yeah, just looking forward to like relaxing because it's been just a really busy nonstop week. Bought my boosted board, been riding around. That's been fun riding around the city. It's like a city, but it's not as crazy as like New York. But not riding around more than I have to. Just point A to point B, getting places. I was like, what's that? I saw a couple other riders.
You didn't check to see your boosted friends, your groups. Yo, I'm in Boston. Who's around? Let's party.
You know, I should have. Yeah, I could have, should have, but I guess I just been too busy to ride for recreation purposes. I'm just riding right now for a purpose to get from A to B, from job to job, versus when I hit those guys up, they ride for fun. They'll ride for like 2 hours, you know, just for fun around the city, which, you know, I would totally do, but I don't think I can get them to wake up at 4:30 to just go ride.
Can you ride for 2.5 hours on your boosted board without recharging?
No, so what you do is you
I
ride,
ride,
you
hang out.
know, yeah, exactly. So you stop, you know, you charge up, you get something to eat, you take some pictures, you know, you explore the area. And a lot of these groups have charge maps, so they know exactly where outlets are, which ones are free, which ones are outside or inside. Pretty crazy.
Sure seems like it.
Do we have a weekly experiment this week?
Uh, don't think so. What do you remember from last show? Weren't we supposed
No, we did the
we were supposed to go up to
dad joke.
strangers and tell them dad jokes or something like that?
I don't remember.
Do you have any more dad jokes?
No, but I did tell people, and I got a couple laughs because I would tell them about the podcast, and then I'd be like, so last week we did the segment on dad jokes, and I don't think they knew what it was, so I had to explain it. You know, they're like really bad corny jokes, and then I start to tell one, and the one I used was the paper joke. it's terrible.
Wait,
And
you have
I got a little chuckle out of it.
there are friends of ours that don't know dad jokes. What it is?
No, I mean, like random people that I would talk to about the podcast. Like the last guy I just talked to, he's a coworker of mine. He was just staying in the hotel I was staying at, and we were just talking about stuff outside of work. And I was like, "Yeah, I got to wake up at 4:30 to do a podcast," and that's when I told him the story. Like, why? Why are you doing? And talk about the podcast. He actually has a podcast himself, which I should probably look up
Why don't you
later.
why don't you just plug it?
Well, he says he's on and off. He doesn't really, he's not steady with it, at least anymore. It was him and his roommate, and it might be a she, but it's called Nerdy, Bored, and Almost 30.
Wait, nerdy what?
Bored and Almost 30.
Cool.
I might have the middle part wrong, but the nerdy and the almost 30 part is right.
How well, I don't know if he or who this person is listening to this podcast. How offended would they be? They'll be like, "Listen, it's definitely um wait, what was how does it begin? Nerdy? The second
Nerdy?
one is the one that you
Yeah.
implied was bored and then almost 30. How offended would they be to be like, "The hell is he talking about? It's it's nerdy, awesome, and almost 30. It's not bored." Like,
Yeah, I was bored literally listening to him talk about it because all I wanted to do was talk about mine.
well, that's a little bit selfish of you. But I'm just saying, it'd be funny if the reality of it is it has nothing to do with bored being the middle word. You know what I mean? And it was quite the contradiction. And then on top of it, the reality of it is that it's not boring whatsoever. It's very exciting. So
Yeah, I just have a bad memory. I forgot. It's also in the middle of working with Sean, trying some split testing for special project.
do
So
you
yeah, that's all I had for this
not gonna
week
wait, you're not
and
gonna
next.
elaborate on the special project? I'm sure everyone is curious about it.
Well, they can tweet me and I will answer any questions that they have.
How
How
about
about that?
if there are 17 tweeters to you, if we get 17 tweets to you, will you then expose what this secret project that you're working on is?
Yes, but let's define the 17 tweeters, unique tweeters. Then I will expose the secret. You know how they are like, they do these tweets like, how many tweets, McDonald's, do I need? How many retweets for unlimited chicken nuggets, a lifetime supply? And then they'll be like 30,000. So then everybody like tries to help the guy get as many retweets as possible. Jin's gonna try to do that. Like, come on, guys, retweet my tweet so Geo can reveal the top secret.
You have to say at the top, secret.
Secret. I think we should end the podcast here.
No, we should talk more about the criteria for
Okay, go ahead.
so 17 tweets and you'll
This is
tell
what
us.
we always do. We're keeping this one short, and then we always say we're gonna end it, but we don't. We just find more topics to talk about.
No, I'm done other than getting
It's like
how do we do you think we have 17 listeners right now that if we told them to, right? Because they should know your Twitter by now.
We definitely do. We see the unique visitors.
Right. Well, again, are they just are they actually like I'm talking about 17 people that actually will listen to this? Will they tweet us? That's the important variable.
Oh no, they definitely won't. Because it's the difference between like taking action. It's like look at YouTube. I have some videos that have 50,000 views, and there's like 3 comments.
Oh yes. Speaking of this, there was something I wanted to talk about, and I don't mean to harp on it or whatever, but um, I became an Amazon influencer, and I was like, whatever. I was like, let me just kind of like not make it a big deal whatsoever, and I didn't, right? So it wasn't a big thing to me until I posted about it because I don't even know if I'm even allowed to talk about it on my podcast. You know what? I'll keep it. You know what? I'm gonna keep everything under wraps about that because I'm not sure if like under their guidelines I'm supposed to talk about it on the podcast in terms of why I posted about it. So anyway, maybe you know what we'll do? If you get 18 tweets, then I'll talk about this Amazon influencer thing too. Good deal?
Okay, deal.
All right. On that note, we are. Oh, wait, are we done?
Yeah, let's roll the intro.
The
Badoop, badoop,
outro.
badoop.
Wait, it would be the outro, no?
Yeah, I know. I feel like I always do that.
Wait,
This is definitely the second or third time.
but is the outro different?
It's the outro. It is. The intro has our vocals on it, and the outro is just the music. Wait, you don't listen to our podcast?
I don't notice the difference between the outro and the intro, to be honest with you.
Huge. Doo, doo, doo.
I'm
Wait,
gonna have to
you wear
listen.
a black shirt during sex?
Yeah, I know.
Doo, 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 doo.
It still doesn't sound authentic. Like it doesn't sound like I actually said. It sounds like it's scripted, although I know that you didn't mean to make it like that.
Yeah, I did it the way you wanted it. That wasn't the way I wanted it.
Well, had I known that that's the way that I've been doing it, I probably don't want it like that because I want it to sound like it's authentic. But in taking that authenticness out of it or into consideration, it actually sounds fake. You know what I mean?
Fake news.
It sounds a little bit scripted, is what I'm trying to say, son. So anyway,
Well, feel free to work on a new one anytime.
maybe that's what we shall do. Oh, one more other thing.
This is like when you're trying to say bye. No, no, you hang up. No, you hang up. And then you just talk forever.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like vlogging is too saturated and it's almost dead? Or basically dead unless if you're the elite, right? But if you're the elite, like if you're the Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon, and these people that are like somehow have reached the upper echelon of vlogging, do you feel like vlogging it's like almost too saturated and overwhelming and it's basically dead of a market?
I kind of do, but just for regular people. But not dead for the people that are up there, the good people. Not just the Peter McKinnons that are like super crazy cinematic. Because there's families now that they all watch YouTube. So all the kids are watching it, and that's what they're watching. They're watching these YouTubers, and they're not like crazy camera guys. They're just regular kids that are playing with toys, or you know, this is my day, and I'm going to the park, and I'm gonna play like just stupid stuff like that. So I don't think it's dead in that regard. but like anybody could take up a camera and start doing it if they really wanted to, but they really have to be consistent with it. Doesn't have to be good, but they have to be consistent with it if they're gonna like look to do that. Is that why you're asking? Like, if you're wanting to talk about it to promote it, or what do you
No,
mean?
I mean, if anything, it would be just to talk about this new lens I got. But it's just kind of curious on your thoughts on podcasting and well, not podcasting, the vlogging scene, the state of vlogging. Oh, and while we're at it, since we're talking about things like that, we should probably talk about Bitcoin. You're vested in Bitcoin, right?
Yeah,
Are you still?
it went up to 19,000 just yesterday.
I think it touched 20, didn't it? It touched 20 and then came back down.
I don't know. When I checked, the highest point was like 19,000 something, but it came back down. It was like 16 at night.
That's insane. Are you gonna
Yeah,
sell?
no, well, see, yeah, so what people aren't getting is that, okay, it started hitting the news, right, when it's going to 6,000 to 10,000. So let's say you bought at 10, right? Because now it's 16 and it's hitting 20. If you bought at 10, and most people, not like your celebrities or your older people that are going to invest in stocks, because most of those people don't even believe in Bitcoin and what it is. So most people are not going to throw $10,000 at it to buy one Bitcoin or buy two or three, right? They're going to just throw a couple bucks at it. So let's say you invested and you bought $100 worth at 10,000. Even if that shit doubles to 20,000, all you did was double your money. So instead of 100, you have 200. So, it's not like when it originally was like $13 and it, a billion trillion times over, doubled itself. Think about it. If it's at $13 and now it's 10,000, you added three zeros to it. You didn't just double it. It was like if you bought it at $13 and it just doubled to 26. That's the equivalent, but it's not. It's $13 to 10,000. So it's huge, huge
You,
triplers, quadruplers, quintuplers, huge.
you.
So you're making money there. That's my point. People aren't paying 10,000; they're putting in $100. All you've done now that it's at 20,000 is made another 100. So now you're at $200. And then you got to minus any fees, because there's fees when you come with purchasing and transferring and selling and buying Bitcoin. There's fees, which is like a couple bucks, but that's my point, and that's what people who maybe like are standing in the background that don't really know much about it, thinking they're gonna do it. Honestly, for you to make money, yes, buy it at 10,000, buy as much as you can if you're willing to invest and possibly lose the money, but you're not going to make money until that thing hits, you know, 50,000, 100,000, millions, which I don't think it's going to happen. That's what I'm trying to like do the math in your head, then it makes more sense.
So then,
Did
what
that
about?
make sense at all?
Yeah, I understand what it is. I'm actually not in it at all. But what I was gonna say is, what about the other cryptocurrencies that are out there? Did you look into it? Are you invested in those other ones? Like, was it Ethereum?
Yeah, I have Ethereum, I have Litecoin. There's a lot out there. I think there's like 1100 different cryptocurrencies. And it's a stock market. It's like saying like, oh yeah, I'm investing in this new oil company, right? It's not ExxonMobil, it's this new one. And right now they're at 20 cents. Should I buy a lot because they're gonna go up? Like you don't know. It's the stock market. So if you get a tip and you know about one, yeah, maybe try it. Because at 13 cents each, that's real cheap.
Which one is at 13 cents?
There's just like little penny stocks or something. I don't know all the cryptocurrencies, but there's like 1100. I have a
No, you said
friend.
13 cents each. Like, did you have a specific one in mind?
No, I was thinking of a penny stock that one of my buddies had recently invested in. I think a couple $1,000 into one that was like 39 cents. Lith, Lith. I mean, it's literally the same thing, right? It's like investing in cryptocurrency. It's literally like the stock market. You put your money in, you pull it out. You know, you buy low, sell high. It doesn't have anything to do with the government. Bitcoin is honestly the only one that's been growing crazy like that. I mean, Ethereum was like $30 like a year ago, but now it's 400. So where it did, grow, it's not growing on the level that Bitcoin is. I mean, will others grow? Yeah, probably. But which one? You don't know.
Cool.
Is that it? Are we really rolling the outro?
Yeah, man, you've been keeping them on the edge over here, not talking about your secret project and now talking about your investments, but you're not giving them the secret.
It's 17 tweets. 17 tweets, guys. That's all it takes. And I will give you the secret to life.
How many episodes is it going to take for us to get to 17 tweets?
At the rate of the comments type situation, probably like a million views or listens or downloads or whatever.
Okay, I could dig that. Cool, man.
All right. Till next week, guys. Roll the outro.
Bow, bow,
Like a wow wow.
bow, bow, bow. Views. You're a fake gay.